Do you know that God invites you to prove Him? And He invites you to prove Him with your money. That's the part that's hard for us to let go of, isn't it? Well, here's what He says in Malachi chapter 3, verse 10. He says, "Bring the full 10% into the storehouse so that there may be food in my house. Test me in this way, says the Lord of hosts, see if I will not open the floodgates of heaven and pour out a blessing for you without measure." Wow, what a promise from the Lord. If we just put him to the test, he's got blessings for us, abundant blessings for us. And Phil and I, if we've put God to the test in our marriage with our tithing, we've found God to be faithful. Now, that doesn't mean we've become rich and wealthy. Y'all know better than that. But it does mean that God has been faithful to meet every single need in our life. You know, we're a faith-based mission, which means that we don't receive a salary from a corporation or some business. We can know relies on the donations of individuals and churches. And many times we went without salary in those early years. We had to trust God. Our practice was that we always paid our bills first and ourselves second. And if we got behind in salary, we forgave the mission its debt. We always just moved forward. And as we practiced that, God was faithful. We always had food on the table. We always had gas in the car. We always were able to pay our house note. We never went without. We never missed one bill. So we know of God's faithfulness. And I encourage you to put God to the test and see how he might be faithful in your life. There's a promise in 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 8. I memorized it a long time ago, and this is what God says. God is able to allow all grace to abound towards you, that you, having all sufficiency in all things, will be able to abound toward every good work. One example, Phil and I could write a book on how God has provided for us, but one example recently is God's provision for my mouth. I lost 6 teeth, and that would have cost a fortune and easy over $20,000 to repair the damage I did to my mouth. But God has been faithful to meet every bill. He met the bills for my emergency surgery, and he just recently met the bills for my implant surgery, every single penny. We haven't had to pay a dime yet. That is an incredible, amazing God that we serve. That is an example of him opening the windows of heaven and pouring out a blessing. And that's not because I'm anybody special. He will do that for any of his children, any of the ones that are willing to put him to the test with their money. Will you put him to the test? I challenge you to.